So if you're trying to figure out which CanaWhoop to buy, I hope this video is very enlightening and helpful for you, because I went and surveyed all of the professional pilots at the CanaWhoop competition. They gave all of the information and access to how they're doing their builds, what their builds are made of, and all of that quality information. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoy. Right, so last weekend we hosted the unofficial Canadian National Championship. Not going to explain why that's unofficial, but we did that down in Lucan, Ontario. And if you don't know what a CanaWhoop is one of these guys. It was a wildly successful event. We had approximately 34 pilots come in from all across North America. We had some from the East Coast, West Coast, south of USA. In case you don't know this about me already, I run the multi-GP chapter for the Kitchener-Waterloo region. We're called the Kitchener-Waterloo Drone Club. I'm the main organizer. I ran 5 CanaWhoop races this winter. And then in the greater Ontario FPV community, we come together as organizers to try and host a massive event at the end of the winter season for everyone to come enjoy, and that's what CanaWhoop is. I personally wasn't too wrapped up in the organization of it. My personal contribution was I brought 4 CRT screens. So how I had those CRT screens running is I had an HD0 monitor with HDMI mini out going to a regular HDMI to then an HDMI to AV converter or composite converter, you know, this style. And then just had the yellow cable, the video signal going into this, the RF modulator. And then the RF modulator had the antenna out going into the antenna port where you'd normally connect an antenna into an old CRT screen. I had those 4 screens from my personal collection set up so that we would have one behind each pilot that was racing. So then whoever was on deck and was supposed to race next could then go and sit down and watch the track and confirm that the pilot in front of them is racing and following the gates as they should. As well as it served as a very popular piece of entertainment at the event. We were hosting the event at the Lucan Community Center, a really small town, but there was a lot of kids and teenagers hanging out, and I would say at any given time we had anywhere from 8 to 15 people just spectating by watching the monitors, and at the side we had a massive projector screen with all of the live stream displaying, but the CRT screens were wildly popular. So while I was there, I thought it'd be the perfect time to do a sample of all of the pilots there and try to figure out what everyone's flying, what brands they're flying, what cameras they're flying, what motors they're flying. So the following montage is just a compilation of the pilot, the rank that they got, as well as the information of what type of flight controller they're using, or as well as if it's a bind and fly or a custom build. There's too many custom pieces that I didn't want to tally up what each individual thing is. So we just went with what the flight controller is, as well as the pilot rank. So let's just jump into that now, and all of the pilots of the 2026 CanaWhoop competition can tell you what they use.
Farmer, trucker. Today I'm flying a combination of an Air65 bind and fly and a HD0 bind and fly.
My call sign is username unavailable. Today we're flying it's like a modified Mob6 2024 V3. It's got a crazy G473 in it. It's got 4 VCI lights, Cadex and Stinky mount. This one just has the standard HD0 whip antenna. It's most of these parts are available at launchpadfpv.ca.
Next race begin.
If you'd like to purchase them. And yeah.
Wow.
Call signs Techno. I'm flying a Mob6 high KV, and I love these things because they're durable. Tweets.
65 millimeter Champs, whatever, thingamajig. On what the hell is it called? I'm flying a 65mm custom built.
No name brand on the board or anything?
BetaFPV 5-in-1, NewBeeDrone BI-V2, BetaFPV 30,000 motors. Solid.
My call time? Yeah, your call time.
Well, Neon. Yeah. I'm flying a Beta 4-in-1 BIV2, damaged 33K motors, and a Beta Champion frame. Gemfan 1207 for props.
Magic Smoke.
Yeah, what are you flying?
So today, this is a, Beta Champion Elite frame, VCI 30,000 kV motors, Beta FPV 4-in-1 with a, I believe the BLV5 V2 camera.
My call sign is 2tex.
Okay, and then what are you flying today?
Today I am flying this custom built Whoop with a Beta FPV 4-in-1 on a Mobula6 2024 frame with Hummingbird 30,000 kV motors, 16.15 grams. Flies pretty good.
I am EDOC.
And then what are you flying?
Let me put it on camera here so we get the build. We have a Beta FPV Champion frame with RCM Power Evo motors. They're the HQ Prop 1.0 pitch props on the Beta FPV Matrix G2 board. It's a HD0 Mobula6 antenna, and then bribe ring canopy with a NewBeeDrone BIV2 camera.
Cowboy West.
What are you flying?
Flying the Champion frame on the 4-in-1 with the CO3, using the Happymodel 28,000 motors and the Ort antenna.
Who makes the Champion frame?
Beta FPV.
Oh wait,
Frostbite FPV. Mobula6 that's been modified to bring the weight down with a 4-in-1 EP2 receiver, bleed eye, running the VCI Pro Lights. Little Ripper.
DJI FPV.
What are you flying?
I got a cockroach frame, a CO3, a Matrix 4-in-1, some VCI, I think 30,000 kV motors, and some HQ ultra lights. A nice little mushroom antenna.
My call sign is FPV Yeti.
And then what are you flying?
What do I fly?
What are you flying today, yeah?
I'm flying a custom build. I'm flying a couple different ones. I'm trying out different things. Beta FPV Air 4-in-1 is the most consistent thing between them. I like the Mobula6 2024 frame, which is an odd choice, but it's pretty durable and it's a little heavier, but it lasts longer, and I don't like fixing my builds, so I don't really have motor loyalty. I mean, every motor has its pros and cons. Right now, I think the big one that a lot of people like is VCI, but I just haven't put one on a build. I'm pretty lazy with my builds. I have a set, haven't put it on yet. Right now I'm using old 702s from Happymodel that are literally the first set of 702s that were released ever. So it's that first model. So that's what I'm running right now just because I had them.
Hi, my name is Werner FPV. I'm flying a 65mm tiny whoop, so everything is broken. This one is still alive. It's like a NewBeeDrone Racing motors and Air65 II. I broke all my shit after Wooptopia and USAF, so whatever is still alive, I'm flying today, and so far it's going pretty good. Yeah.
Nicaro 19.
What are you flying?
I am flying a Mob 6, modded Mob 6.
That's this?
Yep.
Modded with?
It's lighter. It's got there's a BT 2.0 connector. Little things, nothing major. Different camera.
What camera?
The pinch.
Yeah.
Just JFPV.
And then what are you flying?
I'm flying 65mm Matrix G4, Weebleed Screamers, Bleed Eye, Pinch Cam.
1 minute.
Yeah.
Easy.
Okay, I'm flying Sharks, and I'm flying this HD0 AIO.
Brittany FPV.
And then what are you flying today?
Today I'm flying, it's a bit of a mess of parts. It's a Mobula6 and a Meteor 65 mixed together. And then it's HD0.
Yeah. Okay, you look beautiful. Okay, hi. Now, what's your name?
My name is Vadim K.
And then what are you flying?
Flying 65. I don't even remember what it is. Beta FPV, I believe, 65mm.
I'm Farmers FPV.
And what are you flying?
I'm flying
Beetle. As a larger.
this setup here, which is the Beta Champion frame. It's a Beta 4-in-1 with a Beta receiver, the flat antenna receiver, and Beta motors. It's an all Beta setup with the, what camera is this? This is the NewBeeDrone BLV5 camera. The setup rips, and I like the HQ props. And I'm a little different in that I run my setup toilet tank, so my battery runs sideways. And that makes my quads fly a little differently, a little more unique.
My call sign, I'm Kimbo FPV.
And what are you flying?
I'm flying a Mob 7, Mob 75.
Scrappy.
And then what are you flying?
I'm flying a little Whoop here. It's a home custom build. I would claim custom built by me, but that's a lie. I bought it from T-Dog because T-Dog is the pro, so I want to fly with the pros fly.
You know the components at all?
I do. It's a BetaFPV Air 4-in-1. I asked him for that specifically. Sometimes you do the 5-in-1s. Those are okay too, but the 4-in-1 is so much more durable. So much. Pork Chop will tell you that too. So the Air 4-in-1 board.
Pork Chop FPV.
And then what do you fly?
Well, I fly everything, but we're flying tiny whoops today.
Yeah, but like what?
Got a Beta board, a VCI motors, got the Beta frame, champs, and CO3 camera.
Call sign is Alt. I am flying the HD0s, the AIO, with the Happymodel motors, and the stock canopy. Pretty stock setup from the there's a Happymodel HD0 bind and fly.
Ball hawk.
And then what are you flying?
What am I flying?
Yeah.
A drone?
Yeah, but like, Beta FPV more.
Oh! Do I have to like announce for my sponsors? I don't have sponsors.
I mean, it's not about that. It's just what are you?
I'm flying HD0 Whoop with I don't know.
That's it. That's all that matters.
That's like fun. Well, yeah, I've got either the bind and fly or a cockroach frame and a Happymodel motors. Nothing particularly special. Nothing particularly fast.
My consign is Boomerang FPV. It's three HD0 65 millimeters.
Okay.
Papa Perk.
And then what are you flying?
65 millimeter Whoop.
What kind?
It has a Brightbrain canopy, 4-in-1 flight controller, and VCI 30K Pro Lite motors.
Do you know who made the flight controller?
BetaFPV.
What's my call sign? I'm K-Bar.
And then what are you flying?
I am flying a 65 millimeter HD0 Whoop.
Who makes it?
Who makes it? I make it.
You make it?
I made it. Yeah, I put it together.
What board is it?
What board? It's an HD0. It's the HD0 all-in-one, the Eco camera, and 27,000 kV Happymodel motors. And gem fan props. I don't know.
Right, perfect.
That's Matthias.
And then what are you flying today?
I am flying an Air65 or a Mob 6 V3.
So me personally, I have 6 different bind and fly tiny whoops. I cannot be bothered to build my own, figure out the specs, spec everything out. I'd rather just pay once, get it, have it working. I prefer doing the custom builds for the 5-inch outdoor season. But then I have 4 of the Air65 frames and boards that I've replaced the canopy for the McStinky. I also have 2 olds, and by old I mean a year old, NewBeeDrone Hummingbird race spec. I was actually thoroughly surprised that no one at the race had any of these boards. Personally, I don't use them anymore. I think these boards are atrocious because they run call it a LUT. They make the image really contrasty and dark, and there's nothing you can do about it because it's the electronics on this NewBeeDrone race spec board that makes the image the way that it is. No matter what camera you put on this board, it always looks really dark and contrasty. So I think for that reason alone, no one runs these boards. Although people love the motors on these boards. Anytime you heard someone mention NewBeeDrone, it was because they were running those motors. But as you can see by that survey, it's almost 2 to 1 people building custom builds in their tiny whoops versus running a bind and fly. And more than half the pilots are running the BetaFPV Air65 flight controller. And ultimately, that's it for me. I hope you found that information intriguing, valuable, anything If you're trying to decide on which CanaWhoop to buy, I hope you find this information valuable and useful in your purchasing decisions. You can go through the video and scrub through and figure out by rank or whoever you like the most on if you want to do a custom build, and then they explain their parts and you can choose accordingly. But personally, I think just the bind and fly is the easiest way to go until you're like super dedicated to racing. Beyond that, I just want to say thanks to everyone who came out to CanaWhoop. It was such a wonderful, magical, special event, and I'm really looking forward to next year, 2027, when we do it again. And as always, thanks to all of the sponsors who helped make the event happen.